can have Sade Jones with you because she's this beautiful healer being that has the ability to provide us with some tools to help us regulate our nervous system. And why is this important? Why are we ending on this? Love and healing work. As a business, we believe that change comes when we can be regulated in our nervous system, when we can be grounded in our bodies. And when we do things like natural disaster relief work, or we do racism work, or we do anything that puts us in this fight, flight, or freeze response, we need tools to be able to allow our bodies to just regulate themselves. Sade is one of the most amazing beings that I've met to do this. Has helped me regulate my own nervous system in ways that I don't even think I always tell her out loud. But I am honored that you all get to experience her, guide you through a session, that these are tools you can take with you. So when you want to slap somebody upside the head, call them everything but the child of God. And maybe, throw something. These are some tools. Or maybe you want to say something racist. Or you want to ask a question or touch somebody's hair. These are some tools. And so I invite you all to just tune in to Sade. And I'm going to allow Sade to introduce herself and her business and her work, and then to guide us through some regulating things. Hey, Sade.
Hey. Hey. Peaceful greetings, everybody. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to see the chakra bands in tandem. So that's a treat for me. Yes. It's lit when you see them together.
Thank you, Mother.
I am many things because that's how us goddesses move around this human of a world. But let's see, I'm a psychologist. I am a dancer of 19 years. I am a healer. I'm a practitioner of the Ifa and Lukumi tradition. I am an ancestral conduit. I am many different things. I pair all of these things together to call myself a movement alchemist. If you know anything about alchemy, it is the act of transmuting energy for useful purposes. Something that is inanimate then becomes animated. Something that is destructive becomes purposeful. Something that is heavy becomes light. And then do this through movement and through the body. Let's see. I met Fatima a long time ago. Maybe it's been maybe it's been like 8 years or something like that. In Austin, Texas, we recognize each other doing the work. Real. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, East Coast connection. And it has been the utmost honor to be able to heal the healers. And she keep talking about that throughout this whole thing. I keep on hearing this, but who's helping the people, who's doing the work? It's like, well, who's helping you? And that's always my question to her. Like, okay, but what are you doing? Like, are you drinking water and taking care of yourself and having somebody be able to, get it back to you with the same amount of intensity and love that you give it to others? It's very important. So I have a lot of things to say and things for us to do. So we are just going to go ahead and do it.
Okay.
I deal a lot in understanding how movement works around the body. So my business is basically understanding that every energetic center holds different emotions, different traumas, different memories, different experiences within the body. And how do we use movement that's beyond yoga, that's beyond fitness, that's beyond those things to be able to either take those things out of the body or put them somewhere else where they can be useful. Sometimes you need full extraction. Sometimes you can alchemize it, right? And so I do that through customizable private as well as group experiences, virtual or in person, or, fly a sister out somewhere.
I know that's right.
I'll get on a plane. Just let me know what's going on. So we're talking about regulation for this particular experience, right? And how can y'all, as people who go out, I call them light dealers, right? When y'all go out there on the block and do that light work, How are you taking care of yourself? And how can you do that in ways that are sometimes need to be inconspicuous, because not everybody wants to see everybody well, right? So like, how can you just do it and just let it be truth without having people question it, or what is she doing? That's funny? I don't know what that is. Just being able to move. I'm going to put these working definitions in the chat for you. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'll do it later because it doesn't want me to do it now. Oh, okay. Nope. Okay. I go with Spirit say no. Okay, so we're going to get to this work. We have regulation, dysregulation, self-regulation, and co-regulation. Regulation is basically being able to find and maintain homeostasis within the system. That could be your own personal body system. That could be a job. That could be an institution. It could be a country. It could be a race, a so-called race of people. It could be anything. All of these things are systems. And dysregulation is when something happens that takes the metabolic, which is chemical, the physiological, which is your body, or the psychological, which is your mind, homeostasis off kilter, right? So that's what dysregulation is. It's not necessarily feeling negative emotions. Feeling negative emotions can also be a healthy thing. It's when it takes you off your square when it becomes a problem. And then you have self-regulation, is the ability to be able to find equilibrium through self-sourcing. And co-regulate. So that means that's not necessarily out. So going out and putting your feet in the grass is not self-regulation. That's co-regulation with nature. Self-regulation is being able to do it by yourself. So sometimes we get that. That's why I was like, definitions. Definitions are good. And then co-regulation, like I just said, is creating equilibrium within yourself by sourcing something other than what's inside of you. Breath is self-regulation, right? That's a great way to put that. All right, boom. So why do we need regulation? We need regulations because triggers are real. They're all the way real. And it's this game that humans play called trigger ping pong. And some of us are like national champions at that mug, right? Like, that's a thing. And we don't know that we're doing it. And so it's important to be able to cut it. How mother used to say, nip it in the bud. Nip it in the bud. So what happens here? There's the input, a process, and the output. If you think about it like a computer system, there's a physical threat. The physical threat tells you that there is danger. And then some stuff happens in the body to try to save you from said danger. When you are in a psychological threat, that can be perceived or not perceived. So the example of that is a life event happens. It establishes itself as memory in your body. So it's stuck in your, let's use your aortic arch, for example, because that's where most people.
Oh, you're getting so deep.
Grief, death, and loss happens here. So if everybody could take your thumbs, like make a fist like this, put your thumbs out to the sides, and just chill though, because it might feel a little bit odd. Just press right underneath where your armpit meets your chest. And you're going to feel a little bit of discomfort there. It's tight. It's weird. What is happening in there? We call these our emotional pockets. You know how, like, your granny used to take $1 bills and put them in her. So this is where you put your big emotions of grief and loss. You put them in here. Right up in here. Yeah. So, all right, boom, a life event happens. We're like, I can't, especially as people of the global majority, I can't deal with that right now because I have to deal with surviving. So I can't really process this thing that just happened. So I'm going to put it in my pocket. I'm going to put it in my emotional pocket. And I'll come back to it when things cool down, when everything cools down or whatever. But the reality of most of our experiences, especially here in America, is that point to cool down doesn't really occur. So then another thing happens and we put it in there. Another thing happens and we put it in there. Now we got the Barney bag up in our aortic arches of these experiences that we haven't processed yet. Right? Don't worry, I got you. We're gonna get it out. We're gonna air it out. Okay. So what does that show up like, right? So that's like the software, right? Our input system is in here on our computer. Now we got software written that says anytime I experience X, Y, and Z of these ingredients, I need to either turn up, I need to get out of dodge, or I need to play dead, right? Fight, flight, or freeze. And also, I'm a fawn. Oh, You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mass are sick. We need help. You know, that kind of thing. That we learned that. We learned how to do that, how to people please in order to keep ourselves, to keep our own equilibrium. All right. So boom. How do you stop that from happening? You go into in between the input, which is the life event, and then before the software gets inside of your body. It's going to get in there, but it don't have to hook, right? It don't have to anchor inside of your body. So how do you get it real quick before it anchors? Is being able to be grounded in what we call innate wholeness and presence. So we're gonna practice. We're gonna do that practice. I'm gonna share with you is what I do with a lot of people who I work with who are experiencing grief, and you can go through the stages of grief and loss without having it anchor into your body. Okay. So that way you don't have to go back and do the stages over and over and over again. You just get it at one time and be done. Okay. Anybody have any questions so far? I threw a lot of psychology at y'all. I like to get that out the way. You did.
After we've been in 2 hours, child, I ain't getting nothing. I'm going to be asking again.
It's all right. Y'all can hit me up with questions, or I also present this work in presentations for groups and organizations as a workshop. So boom. Okay. So senses go to the body, right? The threat comes in through our senses. The body tells the brain something is happening, hold up. And then the brain says, okay, body, this is what you do. Okay? Mm-hmm. We're going to get it before it goes from the body to the brain. How are we going to do that? We're going to do a visualization because we need an anchor. We need something to resource. So you're going to do a visualization of peace, joy, or play. The second step that we're going to do is we're going to bring up something, not something that's like, you're going to need me for a session, right? Afterward. We don't want to go that far, right? It's too late for me to be giving privates right now.
Baby.
But then we're going to go into setting an intention, and then we're going to go into a body scan and figuring out where it is existing in your body, and then letting it go. All right?
Got it. Yep.
All right. So we've been talking through this here beautiful launch about how it is the first day. Well, we're transitioning into spring overnight tonight. And so we've been in winter. And even though it's nice out, we still in winter, things are still dying, right? So, and a lot of people have experienced that. So that's what you're going to be thinking about. Pick something that's like, on a scale to 1 to 10, maybe a 3, not more than a 4, that you would like to release from your body. Okay? So at this time, I would like you to find your sits bones. Those are those bones right at the bottom of your pelvis, and find where they connect to the ground. If you can, feel the soles of your feet on the ground or your ankles. Notice that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Notice your breath as it is, not trying to change anything, just being. Noticing your tongue. I want you to follow your tongue all the way to the back of your throat. Imagine it's connecting to the front of your spine. And I want you to follow the front of your spine down through your organs, caressing past your lungs, your heart, your intestines, all the way down, pulling at your pelvis, your pelvic bowl. Think about it as a bowl of water. See if that water is still or is it moving? Take your attention now to your temples, your cheekbones, down to where your jaw meets your earlobes, spreading across your collarbones to your shoulders, down the back of your arms to your elbows. See if you can find small bowls of water at your elbows. Reminding you to come back to breath here if you haven't already. Taking the attention now to the outsides of your hips, down to your knees, your shins and calves, to your ankles if that's what's touching the floor, or the soles of your feet if that's what's touching the floor. And at this point, imagine that there are roots growing from your ankles or your soles down to the ground, down through to the center of the earth. Anchoring in, pushing past all of that gushy, lush soil, nutrient dense. These roots turn into straws as they suck up all of that energy, all of that ashe, all the way back up to your feet and ankles, shins and calves, knees, thighs, huddling at your hips. The nutrients now come up to your elbows, up the front of your spine, the back of your arms, to your heart, exploding at your collarbones, up your throat, back to your tongue, up to your nasal cavity, stopping at your pituitary gland, your third eye is what people call it, and out the crown of your head. And when you are ready, I would like you to anchor in to one moment of peace, joy, or play. Nice and juicy breath. And now we're just going to take our focus and our attention to 2021. As a whole, anchoring into your feet, feeling your roots into the center of the earth. And take your attention into winter of 2021. Feeling the base of your tailbone anchoring into your seat. And feeling your heart creating a force field around your energetic body. Where do you feel winter of 2021 in your body? Just note it. And see if you can light that up with one color that will represent loss. And when you're done with that, shift your focus back to where you visualize peace, joy, or play. Locate that in your body for me. What color is it? If it could be a flavor of an icy or a cool cup, maybe that's what people call those, right? What flavor is it? Mine is red. Ah, beautiful. All right. Go back to winter of 2021 for me. See if winter of 2021 can live inside of peace, joy, and play. See if peace, joy, and play can now radiate whatever color that is, and that bubble start to expand and expand until it is surrounding winter of 2021. Nice juicy breath for me, please. Let the color of your peace, joy, or play start to blend in and take over the color of winter of 2021. Can you start seeing that blend? Let that peace, joy, and play color be a little bit more dominant. Inhale your shoulders up to your ears for me, please. And exhale them, rounding them and dropping them down your spine. All the way down, all the way down, all the way down through your roots to the center of the earth. Can we give that color of winter 2021 down through the roots of your feet and ankles to the center of the earth? Just go ahead and give that to the earth. Take 3 breaths doing that. You know, the earth has this amazing superpower of being able to transmute dead things into nutrients for rebirth. It does it every winter into spring. How on time are you right now? Wow. That's a beautiful thing. Can you feel your roots into the ground at the same time as feeling your crown expand toward the heavens? Expand that energy out, down, and upward at the same time for me, as hard as you can. And on your next deep exhale, all of that energy is going to meet at your heart chakra. And when you're ready, open up your eyes and come back into present.
Ooh, child.
Y'all all right?
Beautiful. I don't think all right is the word. I think all right makes it. It doesn't give it the value that it deserves.
So that is alchemy. You literally just did magic with your body. Congratulations. It may come up again because, or other things may come up because now your body trusts you to be a safe space for it. So if it does, just remember this. And if you don't remember it, hit me up and say, I remember that one thing that you did. And I'll definitely help you. I'm going to drop my info here.
Thank you so much.
You are more than welcome to hit me up.
Thank
Hit
you,
up
Sade.
Thank you.